Shalom. First and foremost, giving all acknowledgement to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and of course, double honors and much respects to the men in whom I learned this truth from, beginning with the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Alright, and this video is being brought to you by this article that I came across on NewYorkPost.com, where it says why so many Americans are buying up personal bunkers. Alright, and this isn't something that's new. Alright, you got people over the past couple of years, they've been buying up these bunkers, and prepping for a doomsday or a post-apocalyptic world. Alright, because it's clear and it's evident, even to people that don't know this truth, that all hell is about to break loose. So again, it's no coincidence. People are buying up these bunkers, stacking up on food, supplies, gun and ammo. It's no coincidence, because again, it's clear now more than ever, all hell is about to break loose. Alright, but the question is, why so many Americans are buying up personal bunkers? Is it going to save them? Absolutely not. So, just going to touch on some of this article, and of course, get into some precepts. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead and jump on down, because it's pretty much just going into the luxury of having one of these bunkers, because again, like I said, people, this is something that's just started happening. People have been buying up bunkers, for some years, and preps of the events that are about to take place in the not so far distant future. So I'm gonna get into some of this article. I'll start right here. It says, "This is just an insurance policy," he said. "I'm going to fix it up and pass it down to my family. I hope no one ever has to use it." Which again, I'm not going to read the whole article. It's just pretty much just going into why and how, the details of these, these luxurious bunkers. This one individual, purchased one of these bunkers, and that's where I picked up. He's pretty much going into how it's just in case, he's pretty much going into how he purchased this bunker just in case, and hopefully he never has to use it, and he's going to eventually pass it down to his family. All right, but again, unfortunately for this individual, and everyone else that's buying up these bunkers, like Kanye West recently came out that he purchased a bunker. Unfortunately for these individuals, these bunkers, it's not going to do them any good. All right, but before I jump the gun, I'm going to continue reading on down. It says, "But if it becomes necessary, and with the COVID-19 pandemic and violent uprisings around the country, it seems increasingly likely to Soulsby that it will be. His bunker is well stocked and move-in ready. It's already home sweet bunker around here," he told Garrett. So you see, in light of everything that's going on, because again, it doesn't take a genius to see that all hell's about to break loose with all the riots and protests and uprisings. People, the people are becoming restless. Things are changing. And again, unfortunately for those that love this place called America and want to continue to be here. Unfortunately for them, it's only going to get worse from here. We're slowly entering the stages of Jacob's trouble, all right, which is a period in time. In this time, um, it's going to be like nothing since the this earth was created. It's going to be a very bad time, all right. And again, this is why people are preparing and stocking up, purchasing these bunkers, because they think they're going to escape the said judgments that are coming. All right. And again, when it comes to the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, there's no escaping it. So, I'm just going to continue to jump on down, read certain points. It says the bunkers owned by tourists in Salisbury are both part of a complex spanning 18 square miles, or nearly 3/4 the size of Manhattan, connected by 100 miles of private road. Their neighbors include, or will include, the occupants of 574 additional private bunkers, capable of accommodating up to 10,000 people. So you see that, a lot of these bunkers, unlike what they show in the movie, you might just, run into a small abandoned little place on the ground or whatever, and, it has food for a little while. When in reality, these bunkers they're massive. All right, these bunkers they're capable of holding thousands of people, which would mean that the food supply it'd be able to last you for months, years. These bunkers, they're massive. A lot of them supposedly they're what do you call it, nuclear proof. Meaning that it can withstand a nuclear holocaust, because again, a lot of people know that a nuclear holocaust is going to happen. But again, these bunkers, they're not going to save you. Just skip this paragraph. I'll read this part. It says 500 bunkers are still available, but Benzino tells the Post they're currently selling about one bunker a day. It's a good time to be in a bunker business, or as Garrett has dubbed them, dread merchants. There are around 3.7 million Americans prepping today on some scale, feeding a multi-billion-dollar a year industry that has become more mainstream because of the pandemic. I expect a quarter of the country to be prepping on some level by the end of the year, Garrett tells the Post. So you see, people are buying these bunkers up. People are prepping, buying up food to last them. They're saying on the mainstream news 6 months to a year, and throwing out other narratives. But again, what these individuals don't understand is when all hell does break loose, because it will break loose. These individuals, they don't understand that they've been doing all that storing up for us, for the elect, hoping that I'm of that number, because when you read about the elect throughout the Bible, the Lord is going to take care of these individuals, and again, when it comes to these people that are buying up these bunkers and storing up all these food and supplies, they don't understand that they're heaping all of that up for the elect. All right, because the Lord promised His elect that He'd take care of them. He'd watch over His elect. Matter of fact, go ahead and get that in Amos. Matter of fact, yeah, before I get that, I'll go ahead and start here. In Amos 9, starting at verse 1, it says, I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, Smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them. And I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth of them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth of them shall not be delivered. Because when when the Heavenly Father Yahweh sends His only begotten Son Yahushai, it's not going to be a day of peaches and creams, as they teach in these churches in the world. It's going to be a very dreadful day, a day of a lot of death and mourning. All right. So when that day comes, Yahushai shows up, who you ignorantly call Jesus. You're gonna have a lot of people scrambling and losing their minds, and in that day, you're also gonna have people running into these bunkers to try to escape the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. Verse 2 says, Though they dig into hell, then shall mine hand take them. And who is that hand? Well, I'll get that. I'll get that later. I'm gonna finish reading on. It says, Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. So again, these you got these super rich people, they buying up these bunkers, whether they be in the mountains or whether they be on the water, they got the their space stations, right? But again, ultimately, Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to send his hand out to fetch to fetch these individuals. And again, that hand is going into his elect. All right. Let me just go ahead and get it. Amos, what is that? 5. No, before I go there, let me get this. Jeremiah 16 and 16. So the day Yahushua shows up, all right, you're going to have all these people scrambling. They're going to be losing their minds. And people are going to be running into these bunkers to try to escape the wrath of Yahweh Shemem Shai. But again, just read that the Lord said he's going to send his hand to fetch them. All right, so that leads me here to Jeremiah 16 and 16. It says, Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith Yahweh, and they shall fish them. So pretty much right now, it's the process, of, waking the sheep up. All right, you have certain men out here. All right, the prophets. They're out there on the highways and byways, making videos, teaching, and just waking the elect, sealing the elect through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. So right now, we're in the process of fishing. Like Yahweh told the apostles, and those that were fishermen, I will make you fishers of men. All right. So that's the process that's going on right now until these doors of mercy, they close. All right. Once the Lord shuts that door, it's it. That's a wrap. All right. And pretty much, at the end of all this, reading on, it says, And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. So you see, the day is coming, the time is coming where he's going to send those same fishermen, the same fishers, and they're going to be hunting for these. They're going to become hunters. They're going to be hunting for these super rich elite. Out of all these bunkers, their space stations, their underwater hotels, The Lord's going to send his hand, which are the elect. He's going to send for them and to get these individuals and to put them into slavery. So technically you can say, some people will escape the wrath and judgment of Yahweh Bashim Shai, but only to be snatched up and put into slavery. You can say that. Because when you go to Revelation 19, Revelation 19 and 15, it says, "And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the almighty power." So when it's all said and done, these different nations and top wicked elites, all these super rich individuals, they're going to be put into slavery ultimately. All right, and again, Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to send his men to fetch these men out. Search the four corners of the earth and to find these men. All right, because by then we're already going to have, the elect, they're already going to have the spiritual power and the new bodies and whatnot. So, again, Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to send his men. He's going to send his hunters out, send them them goons on them, them dogs. And we're fetching these men up, these rich elite, taking them out of these bunkers, snatching them up and rounding them up for slavery. All right. Revelation 6 and 15. It says, "And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and the free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?" So you see, because again, the day Yahweh Shai comes back, it's not going to be a day of peaches and creams, man. It's going to be a terrible day, a very frightening day. All right. And again, that's why you're going to have people scrambling and losing their minds, man. We're trying to get the hell out of Dodge. But again, there's going to be no escape. And those that do escape, Yahweh Bashim Shai allowed them to escape just so they can be rounded up for slavery. All right. But when you go to Revelations, was that 14 and starting at verse 1, it says, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads." So this is that, basically, Yahweh Shai is that lamb. All right, and with him is the 144,000, which is the elect. All right, you read about that in Revelations, the 7th chapter. 12,000 men out of each tribe. All right, 144,000 total. All right, that's going to be the governing body under the rulership of Yahweh Shai to rule the galaxy. All right, and these are going to be the ones. These are going to be the elected spirits. That hand that is spoken about, the hand that Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to send out to fetch these rich, super elite individuals. All right. You can go to Ezekiel 7:26. It tells you, Ezekiel 7:25. It says, "Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none." Slakia, that's not what I wanted, but I mean, you can tie it in, because again, yeah, in that day when Yahweh Shai shows up, scriptures talk about how these wicked elites, they're going to be, turn into the witchcraft and all their their magic, basically all the witchcraft. And in that day, it's going to is I mean, their prayers are not going to be heard. Because ultimately, the spirits on the left hand, all the demonic spirits, whether they're good or bad, they all work for the Most High. So, in that day when Yahweh Shai shows up, they're going to be looking to their, um, looking to their witchcraft and trying to conjure up spirits and whatnot. But it's going to fail them in that day. You know, but that's not what I was looking for. But nevertheless, it tied in. Ecclesiastes 3, verse 2. It says, a time to be born and a time to die. Let me start at verse 1 because, like I read, right now, it's a season. There's a season for everything. When you read that in verse 1, it says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. All right. So like I said, right now, this be the time for, just going out there, on the highways and byways or doing videos or whatever the case may be. But the main goal right now is, to teach and to seal the elect if they're not already. All right. But the main goal is to, basically build the house of David back up. All right. So that's right. Right now, you say, it's fishing season, just going out there teaching, warning the people. All right. Reading on to verse 2, again, it says, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. So you see, because again, when that day comes, Yahweh Shai shows up, it's going to be time to pretty much, pluck them and snap, because the scriptures go into how, they're going to be taken violently. They're not just going to be, not going to be soft for them. The scriptures go into how their Esau's kingdom, his kingdom is going to be violently taken from him, and when they go into these different bunkers or whatnot, they're going to be violently snatched up. Have a foot in their ass. It's not gonna be playing around with them. So that this is the time that's coming. But like I said, they building all these bunkers and prepping and getting all these food and supplies. They don't know they're getting that stuff ready for the elect, because again, the Lord promises the elect that he would take care of them. You can go to Job 27, starting at verse 19. Job 27 and verse. Let me just see if there's anything else I want. So I'll just start at verse 16. Job 27 and 16, it says, though he heap up silver as the dust and prepare raiment as the clay. So again, though they because best believe, these wicked elites, they're worth trillions, and they got all the gold and all the wealth of the world, and even to the the lower elites, these people that are buying up these bunkers and all these food and supplies, they don't know that they're saving that up for the elect. It's ours to begin with in the first place. They stole it from us, but again, they're buying up all these things and stacking up just for the elect. That's what it says in verse 17. It says, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on. It's like here. Verse 17, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. So you see, they do all this prepping, but they don't know that they're pretty much pampering it for us. They're setting it up for us, the elect. All right. You go to Job 5 and see where I start. If you know the precepts, when the scriptures talk about the poor and the just, that's referring to the elect. All right. The many code names in the Bible, for the elect and for the wicked. The pride man. He's also referred to as the pride man. All right, he's referred to as the Assyrian. There's many code names for these wicked elites. All right, and there's many code names for the elite on the right hand, the elite of the nation of Israel, the 144. And one of those code names is the just. All right, the perfect, the meek, the poor. All right. So when you go to Job 5 and see, like here in verse 16 it says, "So the poor hath hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth." Yeah, because again, these people in these nations, they have everything. They have the resources, the wealth, the guns. They have it all. We don't have nothing. We don't have an army. We don't have nothing but the country, the comfort of these scriptures. That's all we have. Is and that's why the scriptures, talks about how, it talks about us being the prisoners of hope. Because that's all we have. Because again, the Lord said that he would protect his elect. So, at the end of the day, that's all we have, and that's all we need. Is this word. But jump to verse 19. It says, "He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee." So you see, there's a number of scriptures that go into how the Lord, he said that he would protect his elect, right? And right now, we're in between the 6th and the 7th trouble, right? The 7th trouble ultimately being those nuclear missiles that are going to be shut off and utterly destroying America. All right, the Lord said he would protect us from that. I'm going to read that again in verse 19. It says, "He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee." So you see, when all hell does actually break loose, the Lord, he's going to protect his elect. All right. When all hell breaks loose, and you're going to have certain, certain brothers of the elect, they're going to be running into these bunkers. They're going to be running into these, warehouses with food and just all, as well as all other type of miracles. The Lord is going to perform all type of miracles on the behalf of his elect. So reading in verse 20, it's like you. Reading in verse 20 says, "In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword." Yeah, because again, there's going to be a mass famine. All right. Cannibalism. I'll always talk about it. Cannibalism is coming back on a major scale. It's going to be so bad out here. People are going to be eating their own children. They're going to be taking a bite out of their own arm, their own flesh. All right. But again, the elect, they're not going to have anything to worry about. Because again, the same people stocking up and storing up on food. They don't know that they're pretty much setting it up for the elect. Right? Because again, when things get bad, certain brothers, they're going to be in a run. They're going to be living off grid and things like that, and they're going to be coming across these bunkers, with food in it and shelter, and all type of stuff is going to be, all type of miracles are going to be performed on the behalf of the elect. All right, that's why I said in verse 20, it said, "In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword." So you see, it says, "Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth." So yeah, you see, again, just basically when it comes to elect, they're gonna be straight. While everyone else is catching hell, because they didn't take the time and the opportunity now, to repent. Because scriptures talk about how it's better to be in the house of mourning rather than in the house of feasting. Right now is the time to be, uh, pretty much, crying out, you know. But again, you have a lot of individuals, especially, Jake, got a lot of so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, they're just taking this for a joke and, not taking it serious, living it up in mirth, you know, living their best life. But this is not the time for that. We should be crying a sign to Yahweh Shem Shai to bring this place down. And again, you have only the elect. They're going to do that right now. They're going to take advantage of the opportunity right now. They're going to be in the house of mourning. So that's why when all hell breaks loose, that's how they're going to be, laughing. They're going to be living it up. Going to be eating good. They're going to be clothed, sheltered. They're going to be taken care of, while everyone else is catching hell. Because the scriptures say, we deal with our chastening now, so we don't have to be condemned with the world. And that's really going to take place, during Jacob's trouble. The scriptures say that the Lord will punish the world for its iniquity. All right, so there's at the end of the day, there's no escaping this. All right. Go here, and I'll probably end it off here. Amos 5, and starting at verse 18, it says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh! To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light." So you see, because again, you got a lot of people expecting the second coming, what they call, the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, expecting his second coming. But that day is not a day in what you think it's going to be. It's going to be a day of death and mourning, darkness, all right, gloominess. It's going to be a day of pain and misery, sorrows, all right. And reading on to verse 19, it says, "As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him." So imagine fleeing from a lion just to run into a bear, and you escape from a bear. Read on, it says, "Or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him." So you escape a lion just to run into a bear, and you escape a bear just to run into a house. You leaning on the wall, you get bit by a serpent. Basically showing and telling there's no escape. You can't escape. The judgments from Yahweh Shem Shai. So that only if you have that hedge of protection from Yahweh Shem Shai, you're gonna be all right. But other than that, there's no escaping it. So buying up all these bunkers and stacking up all this food and supply. And listen, because I talked to a lot of individuals, they talk about prepping for food and things like that. There's nothing wrong with that to an extent, because even our forefathers like Abraham, he prepared himself for famine. I believe Isaac did. There's, to an extent, there's nothing wrong with properly getting yourself ready. But ultimately you got to put your trust in Yahweh Shem Shai, right? Because eventually, it's one thing I tell people, eventually that food and everything that you stacked up on is going to run out. So ultimately you got to put your trust in Yahweh Shem Shai, ultimately. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I see stuff like this, man, and it's just, Yahweh Tazah, you pray that, and one thing you when you see these bunkers, man, they're super nice, they're very luxurious, but so that's why we pray, Yahweh Tazah, you're of the elect, because the Lord's, he promised that he's going to take care of his elect, so that's why I say, Yahweh Tazah, I'm one of those men, man, but yeah, that was it, Yahweh Tazah, you edified. Once again, giving all acknowledgement to Yahweh Shem Shai, double honors, much respects, and to the men in whom I learned this truth from, starting from the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.